everybody. I'm going to be filming a June flip through. It's been a while since we've been here. I hope everyone's New Year is going well. It is almost March, so we're already like almost, at the end of a quarter, but it has been busy. So I'm going to jump right in. Hopefully this will be a quick video because it's freezing in my basement and I don't want to have my space heater on and making noise, even though I have my microphone. But so we're just going to jump right in with the monthlies. I loved this theme. These vegetable farmers market stickers are from Happy Olive Studio, which I love her sticker sheets. I'm just going to pull some of them out because I think they're so fun. I like using them. She does different themes all the time. So, but these are these ones. I've kind of savored them. So I've used them in my weeks and all different kind of things. So I love Happy Olive Studio. I'm part of the mail club. So I used them because I was so excited about them. And I picked 4 colors this month, but I really loved this theme. And then I just liked the neutral checkered. I think it looks really good. Let's find June in here. I have some of this tabbed out just because I was going to take some pictures of some of my favorite spreads. I haven't done that yet. On the 1st, my husband and I were going to a Coheed and Cambria concert. His favorite band, Periphery, was one of the openers. So I actually did this in the car. I just chose a sticker and then drew these little blobs. I haven't really done the blobs this year, so maybe I should bring them back. But Monday I didn't really have a lot. I think I took the day off. I think I had like this whole beginning of the week off. But these were just pictures from the concert, and then I have a Receiptify, which it says my music finally made a comeback. So I think we still had Baby Shark, One Little Finger, Five Little Ducks. So 3 of Milo's songs were still on there. And then I was still obsessed with Labubus at this time, and this little one came, so I just have the sticker from that. I went to Pittsburgh on Tuesday after I took my son to my parents. My brother and I were going to a concert with a couple of his friends to see Vampire Weekend, which we've seen them before, but it was really nice. There were some songs that my brother and I just didn't really care about. We stayed in the way back of the venue, and his friends actually went to the general admission pit area. And so my brother and I just got to have a couple drinks and catch up. There was a bunny nest in the area, and so we got to watch 2 little baby bunnies. I was very protective. I think my brother was getting annoyed because I kept explaining to people that their little nest was around us, because people kept trying to make them leave the venue or try and pick them up because they were dumb, and it was making me mad, and I was a little tipsy. So when I spent the night at my brother's, and then on Wednesday I went to pick up Milo for my mom and dad. We've had some issues with him sleeping at other places and not sleeping well, but he did sleep for my parents. But he fell asleep in the car and then wouldn't continue his nap when we got home. So didn't have much of free time, but really like this kind of layout, choosing a sticker with the washi tape and then doing a frame. So I should do this again. I really like it. And then again, just more Labubus. This was the package that comes in, and then this was part of the box. So I just made a little collage because I didn't really have anything to write about. On Friday the 6th, it was National Donut Day. So Duncan had these cute little bags that I cut these things out of. And then I thought these Labubus matched the vibe, and I put a couple donut stickers. So I just think this is a cute little collage page. On the 7th, we were getting ready to move. So I cleaned out our freezer and said I'm really impressed with my freezer clean. And then we went to the library. There was a truck event where they had just different service vehicles and construction vehicles. So we got a couple stickers from there. And then I used some of his stickers just to decorate. And then we signed up for the summer reading challenge, which we didn't actually end up doing anything with the papers. We did read, but I just didn't quite understand what all we were supposed to do. I used that same like sticker layout box and washi tape for Sunday. You know, we have our typical chores, grocery shopping, that kind of stuff. My cousins had a wedding celebration at Presque Isle, so we went there for a party, and then my mom and dad came up, and then we had stuffed crust pizza for dinner, which is one of our regulars. I don't really love this page. I'm not sure what I was trying to do, but it feels like the vibes like don't match on here. Apparently just kind of an all over the place day. My pothos was thriving at home. We had to move offices, and so I took my pothos home, and it really liked the sun it was getting there, I think. On the 10th, I went to Werner's, which is my favorite local bookstore, to get the new Riley Sager book. I decided to take the next day off because we just were, like I said, moving and trying to get housework done, and just had a, busy day at work where things were popping up. I really wanted a big energy Labubu at that time, so I think I got my first one. So this is from the packaging. This was what I pulled. Milo had drawn on the page, so I just kind of like made it fit, and I actually really like that page. My husband had to go to a dinner celebration for a coworker who was retiring, so Milo and I just went outside. It was a really nice day. I totally missed summer, but we just walked around in the grass near our apartment building and got to run around, and we had a lot of fun, actually. On Friday the 13th, these were pictures of Milo at school in some dress-up clothes, so I said I think he might need some dress-up clothes at home. And then I found a Walmart Bagoo dupe. It's a nylon purse. I got a red one and I have a black one, and honestly I think they're pretty similar quality to Bagoo because I also am obsessed with Bagoos. So if they ever have more of those, I would definitely recommend them or pick them up. On the 14th, it was No King's Day, so there were a lot of protests. I was not able to participate, but I did see this post that someone had of their sign that said the only orange monarch we want is a butterfly, and I really liked it. And so I just used some packaging from a Pop Mart box, some stickers, and this is one of my favorite pages in my Hobonichi. Wish we didn't have to have that message though. On the 15th, I finished The God of the Woods. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was a good thriller. I have tended to move away from thrillers just because I feel like they're really predictable, and I haven't really liked a lot that I've read, so I really liked this one. And my version had the pink sprayed edges, which was cool. And then it was Father's Day. My husband loves hot sauce, so I used one of his stickers that he got with an order, and then we actually got to see both of Milo's grandpas, so that was nice. Happy Olive Meal Club again, Happy Olive Studio. I got a package with some of these East Coast summer stickers, so I just put that, and then lots of meal today. Got my Happy Olive Meal Club and my soy milk Labubu, also bills I forgot about, so just a little flip down. This is a very boring page. Apparently I treated myself to a breakfast sandwich at McDonald's that day. I'm sure I meant to add more, but that's all that got done on that day. I had an impromptu nail appointment. I don't remember why it was impromptu, other than I knew my nails needed done, but I just went with a single color. This kind of, it was a little lighter than this, more pastel and bright, kind of a neon pastel, but this green was fun. On Thursday the 19th, I just was cleaning and packing. I think I took the day off. Friday, I just wrote TGIF. We were really busy at that point. And then there was a girl that I was working with at some appointments that I thought we were forming like some kind of a friendship that might move outside of those appointments. And I saw her this night, and like we kind of talked about being friends and talked about social media, and it turns out I was wrong, and we've never hung out or anything. But we went to a retirement party for Matt's coworker. It was really good, but our tummies actually hurt at the end, so not sure if that was the food or not. On the 22nd, I just did kind of a sticker collage, and then I wrote a lot. I don't even know what this is about. It feels like an icky brain dump, and so I'm not going to read it, actually. And this is, I think I meant to add more. I got this sticker in an order. There was an artist on TikTok that I saw his live, and he usually draws Pokemon. I think he actually drew this and made a sticker, but he actually had done a Hello Kitty card. He illustrated this cute little Hello Kitty, and I just felt like I needed it. So I bought it, and he sent actually I got a Pokemon card, a Jolteon. So he sent that and a little sticker. So I got that on Monday. On Tuesday, my clearances were due at school, so I had to go do fingerprinting. So I did that at a AAA. And this was just a quote that one of the AAA agents was on the phone. He goes, "Again, this is Jake. My goodies are in your Gmail." And I just thought it was so funny. I don't think I've ever heard someone say my goodies are in your Gmail, or like in a professional way to say that. So that was just weird. Wednesday, I got some stickers in the mail. They're clearly like translated. And so some of them just don't make sense. And so I put a couple of the funny ones. I just thought this guy was funny, but like, boo, milk, flowers loves you. Every day is nice day, gawk rabbit, all of my cakes. And then this one is actually my favorite. You are breakfast. I still have one of these, and I actually want a whole sheet of you are breakfast. So on the 26th was moving day. Matt and I both had the day off. It was so hot. We had such a hot summer. But we had the same movers from the last time we moved, some of the same guys, and they are like so good, and they just like got it done and were so good. I wasn't even moving stuff and I was sweating, but now everything got moved. We were able to focus and organize. So I just put some boxes and, stress little rabbit. And then this is from Journal as Alter, her free sticker sheets or cutouts. But it says, get out of my way. The RV is full. This RV is full of art supplies, which is so true. On the 27th, I just did a little collage of some of my packaging stuff that I got. And these are from Voodoo Chips. I think these were Voodoo Pretzels, actually. And then I got a Sunny Angel, one of the flower series. I actually got the little acorn, not a flower. So it kind of sucks, but I also got sticker packs. So I put a couple of them. I just think they're cute. And then I forget what this little kitty is called. I got a little hipper. I got this little shark. He's on my computer at work now. And then on Saturday, we spent one of my favorite ways to spend a summer Saturday, going outside to a market and the library. And so we got coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. I'm getting Dunkin' lattes. We went to the library. We got a couple books, and my husband got a DVD. And then we went to the Leaf Open Market. We bought some sourdough and some pastries. So I just decided to illustrate the little logos for each of the places that we had gone to. And I think I did a really good job, and I like that layout a lot. And then I got Milo a little Cookie Monster bag for daycare. Tomorrow is his first water day, so we had to buy some swimsuit stuff and water shoes. So I got him a book bag to carry stuff in. And that was a little tag on it. He loves Cookie Monster. And then Matt had band practice. And so Milo and I went to Old Navy and Michael's after his nap. But we didn't have the easiest trip, so I didn't end up going to Ulta, but that was okay. I would have spent too much money anyways. And then on the 30th, I just did a doodle, and I actually love these strawberries. I think they're so cool. I'd love to turn them into, stickers or something. They didn't scan great. I don't know why, but the colors just were so off. And then we get into July, which I actually did a different kind of cover sheet for July. Let's look at July. July, I used some Pip Sticks, little mushroom cat stickers, which I loved the colors. I think it works really great with this smiley face washi tape. And then these were just such bright colors that it was really fun. And July was a pretty good month, I think. I like this one, has a couple like doodles and stuff, but I decided to do something different. I had seen people drawing or using like cover sheets or doing spreads in their journals with like lyrics. One of my favorite bands when I was in high school and still now is the Decemberists. And they have a couple songs that I really like think of as we move into months. And they have a song called July, July. And I wrote one of the verses or a couple of the verses, and then just wrote July, July, July. It never seemed so strange, which is part of the chorus, and definitely something I think about every July. I did a Receiptify. Milo's music seeped back into my tracked songs. It says 5 Little Monkeys has had a strong grip on us this last week. So I needed to figure out how to stop tracking his music. I wasn't doing a very good job. And then I made my reading templates, which didn't print super well, but I did this strawberry theme and I really liked it. On the second, I just did this little meme. It says, might fool around and start believing in my own potential. Oh yeah, you got this. So I don't know. I'm trying to get more confident with things. And then I use this little Robbie sticker. On the third, I took the afternoon off and I went to an appointment. How exciting. Kind of like today, I'm taking the day off, but I have a dentist cleaning in the afternoon. On the 4th of July, Milo got to go to his first parade. We didn't go to one last year with him just because of all the noise. And I think he kind of enjoyed it. I don't think he really got it. So we'll see how this year's 4th of July goes. And then went over to my mother-in-law and father-in-law's for a picnic. And I love his little Rolling Stones 4th of July shirt. So my dad loves the Rolling Stones, and I just thought it was really cute. And then on the 5th, we had to move a bunch of stuff to storage, and he was such a good sport and fell asleep right after we got done with the storage unit. But he was just running around and having a great time. And then on the 6th was Sunday, so we did, our usual, chores and errands and things. So Milo took Matt's hat, and then he asked for my sunglasses when we got into the store. And I loved his little outfit. This was like a one piece crab like short set. And he had his little black sneakers and orange socks on, and he just looked super cool. And then it says, will we ever be done cleaning? My sister-in-law came over and helped us. And Milo went to his grandparents. I think Matt had band practice maybe, so that's why it was just my sister-in-law and I, but she was a big help and helped us clean the bathrooms and the fridge and stuff. And then on Monday, I got my first jet pens order, and I had drawn these blueberries before. I was just experimenting with Tombows and one of the Sharpie Creative brush pen markers, which I really like, and then just doing some lining with a pen. But then I used the rest of my supplies. So I got some dot markers and I got some, are they these Uniball one maybe in these colors. So I just drew some flowers and then I got a couple washi tapes, and then this was part of the packaging and this was included in my order. So I just put that there. I was dealing with the feelings of that friendship I talked about in June, not actually like coming to fruition. So it was just like I've had a rough time with friendships and having a hard time making friends and feeling like I fit in. So I was just kind of working through that. It's just an ongoing thing that I think I forever will be working through. But one of my favorite quotes that I found when I was in grad school, and I was reminded of during this time, is attract what you expect, reflect what you desire, become what you respect, mirror what you admire. So I just put a little mirror sticker and a quote just as that reminder. On Wednesday, I got another stationery package. So I actually bought a Delphonics case, which I'm thinking about doing a like what's in my bag and a Delphonics because I've been using it a lot more. But I actually did that. I used Claire from Online's code to get a little bit off. It says, did I need it? Definitely not, but I hope it will help keep things organized and more accessible. So I do like it for the bag that I'm using right now, actually. And then I always order washi tape. So I got this cool kind of like travel one. It has like a cafe, it has a camera, it has a luggage, some little desserts and drinks, an airplane. So I just think it's really cute in the boxes. And then I got this Beve Russian nesting dolls with this in this blue and white color. On the 10th, I used these kind of Western stickers, and I think this is a really cute layout and color combination, and then just did a couple of my blobs. So this was still about kind of that friendship thing. In a bit of a funk today. I'm trying to be patient, but it's hard to put yourself out there and not get a response. I thought I was having better luck. Milo can say 45 plus words. That's crazy. He's just talking up a storm now. I'm still finishing cleaning the apartment. This Friday, I spent all day cleaning our old apartment. So I drew this spray bottle. I think it's cool. I like the colors and I think it's pretty cute. And then Saturday we went to Greek Fest. It was really hot. We ate a gyro and then I lost my wedding rings. So because it was so hot, we went at such a bad time. The sun was still out. I have a fair-skinned child and I needed to lather him in sunscreen. So I don't like wearing my rings when I have lotion on, so I put my rings in my pocket while I put sunscreen on him and then went into mom mode, getting him into his stroller and trying to make sure he had everything. And I totally forgot that I took off my rings. I didn't have the best shorts on that had like deep pockets because what women's pants have deep pockets. But by the time we got home, I changed my pants and went about my night. And then I finally went to bed and saw my ring dish because I take my rings off when I sleep. And I realized that I did not have my wedding rings and never put them back on. They were not in my car. They were not in the pants I took off. So I'm not really sure if they got lost outside at Greek Fest or somewhere else. I did go to the bathroom there, but so we kind of, my husband was already asleep and I was kind of devastated. So, but earlier that day, the carpet cleaners had forgot about us. They still showed up. They gave us a discount. We got the apartment all clean and keys turned in. So we were done with that. The next day, instead of focusing on my wedding rings, we actually went to somewhere near Pittsburgh to see my brother. perform in A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, which was a really fun show. We had a great time watching him. He's just getting back into his theater. We both did that in high school. And so I'm really proud of him and excited to keep seeing what he's doing. And then Monday, I was able, I think that night, to contact somebody about my rings. I actually think I put a post out on Facebook and got connected with people that were organizing and cleaning up the Greek festival. So actually somebody did turn in some rings. Only one of them was mine, but it was my engagement ring, which was the more expensive out of the two and was a little bit more important to me. And then I did end up finding a Madras bag for less than 100 on Mercari, which in hindsight, they just dropped more Madras bags. So that sucks that I could have gotten it cheaper, but oh well. I didn't think they were ever going to make it again because it was retired. It was the last full week of new student orientations, and I was exhausted, but it's only Monday. On Tuesday, it says, somehow I now have 2 Madras Bagu bags coming. So I forgot I had bought one, and then I bid on one before that, and I actually won the bid. So I had 2 and had to resell one of them, but that's all right. So glad it's the last week of NSOs because it's kicking my butt with everything else going on. Matt got Milo a new drum set, and they both love it. I think it's very loud. Milo was waking up early, so this is just kind of like, I wish he'd tell me why he's waking up so early. And then just some rantings about my medication and how I felt about my health. And then I read an ARC. This was a digital ARC from NetGalley for I Am the Swarm. It was written in lyrical verse. I thought it was really beautifully written, and I thought it was really interesting. It talked about mental health and family trauma through the metaphor of magic. And I thought it was really beautiful and sad. So I recommend it. And so there was like a tie-in to like feelings were given life and embodiment through insects and colors. So I just put a couple different insects, butterfly and bees, because those were some of the insects that were part of the story. And then I gave it 5 stars. So I love this little bottom half. I think it's so cool. I just wrote blah. Apparently we were having a very blah day on the 17th. I got a shout out at work through our We Are thing, so it's, people can submit it anonymously. So I don't know who sent this, but thank you. This was really nice to read. So it says, Megan excels in a role that demands poise and empathy, student conduct. She stands out for her kindness, compassion, and unwavering fairness. Whether working with individual students or entire groups, Megan treats everyone with dignity and respect, fostering a culture of accountability and care. So thank you so much to whoever submitted that. And then I finished I Hope This Finds You Well. I think I did audio for this. I gave it 3.5. So I enjoyed it overall. I thought it was a little slow. And I liked the romantic relationship a lot. And I liked the male main character. I thought the female main character was a bit frustrating. But I thought that was pretty good. On the 10th, we took Milo to the beach for the first time. I know we live in, by the lake, but we just hadn't made it there. So he really enjoyed it. Was a messy little boy in the sand. A little scared, apprehensive of the water, but he did get to sit in it. And then we celebrated my sister-in-law's 40th birthday by going over to my mother and father-in-law's for a kind of picnic dinner. But Milo had woke up at 4:40 that morning, but we still had a good day. So, and I went to Sam's Club and I found amazing crew necks for $13, and they're actually some of my favorite sweatshirts. On the 21st, there's a bunch of little books that are like, you're my little somethings. So this was just a drawing from one of the books. I just didn't really have anything to talk about that day, so I just drew it. And then we took Milo to a playground in our neighborhood on the 22nd. And he tries to climb things. He was too little. His legs were too short. And then on the 23rd, I got my nails done. I took the afternoon off for my nails and then went to Old Navy to try to find some clothes for work, but I had no luck. And then I got some stuff at Walmart for my cousin's baby shower, but these sparkled. They were kind of nude sparkle, so I said they sparkle okay. So more interesting than just that. On the 24th, Milo and I actually matched clothes. I realized when I dropped him off at school that we both had tan t-shirts on and blue pants and blue shoes. So I made Matt take a picture once we got home. And then we just Matt was walking around with him outside. And then I drew my Oura ring. It says my Oura ring thinks I'm really stressed out this week, and it's right. So I just did this on vellum paper. I think it's a cute little flip out. On the 25th, Friday, this is kind of a 2-page, we went to my mom and dad's. I was going through a lot of stuff for my parents because they're getting ready to move. They've been getting ready to move. But I found a ton of art stuff in one of my bins. So I actually went through it. So this was washi tape that I found at home. These were some sparkle gel pens and different colored pens, some pastel pencils, mild liners, stickers and stuff. So I actually filmed this, but this was just me trying to figure out what worked and what didn't work. And then this was Milo saying bye-bye. He found one of my stuffed animals at home and I let him bring it home with us. But we had breakfast and lunch at my parents' and then we left. We went to Hobby Lobby and I got some Hello Kitty stickers. I did that picture or sticker and frame thing, only this time with dots. So I got Dunkin', we went to grocery shopping, I went to my cousin's baby shower. My friend Clark was in town, so he stopped over to the house. And then I started the Netflix My Melody and Kuromi series. My sweet baby angel Cobweb turned 6 on the 28th, so these are just some of my favorite pictures of him. He's my little sweet boy. This was my first time meeting him, my first picture with him. And this is just a picture of Milo, just a beautiful boy, because I think he is. Then on the 30th, I went to Cleveland Clinic for my endocrinologist appointment. I got refills and an A1C, but that also went up, so it was just not very happy with myself. And then I kind of took a page from Shelby on paper. She draws a lot of food, and so this was kind of inspired by her, but I just drew, we had stuffed crust pizza for dinner, and I don't like that, but I love this little drawing in this section. And then on the 31st, we went to the park in the neighborhood had food trucks tonight, so we did actually eat at home, but we were able to stop and get a scoop of ice cream, and then Milo got to play on the playground, but he wouldn't go down on the slide, so I just put a little ice cream truck, some ice cream stickers, and then this was him trying to read a book before I got home from work. So that was July. We're getting there. So thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed this flip through and that you'll come back. I appreciate everyone sticking around with my kind of up and down schedule for posting, but I do find this fun and I'd love to know what you miss about summer since we're still in the throes of winter. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.